Hey, this is Brett. Tea and Living. This is our tomatoes from this week. We've gathered a few. We've got more than we know what to do with. We've ate them all week. This is the excess. So today's going to be salsa and possibly ketchup. We'll probably split it. We've already made quite a bit of salsa. I'm going to get to blanching these and taking the skin off of it. Getting ready to start making sauce. I thought I'd invite y'all along for the salsa and possibly ketchup making today, depending on how much we get. I'll turn the camera back on and start peeling. Well, I thought I'd add this portion. We put them in boiling water. I was talking about blanching. I drop them in boiling water for about a minute. Most of these tomatoes have been in the refrigerator. They're ice cold. The skin gets really hot. I take them out of the water. I take them over to the sink, put them in cold water, and the skin will pull right off of them. You can see in the sink I've got cold water in the sink, and the first batch is soaking. I get the sink full, I'll quit blanching, and I'll start cutting and de-seeding and all that good fun stuff.
So,
what is it I do? And I'm going to make sauce. I kind of do this to all of them, but these has already been blanched. The skin's trying to come off of them. I found it quicker just to cut the top off of them, cap them.
Cap them.
Of course, the skin pulls right off.
Then what do you do? Oh, you cutting the back spots?
It's got some green in there.
Oh.
Don't need the core. Get rid of that. There's a lot of water and seeds and all these little ports in the side. I just squeeze them and push out what I can of them.
Getting out the seeds?
It gets a lot of the seeds out and gets a lot of the extra liquid out.
So you don't.
Real thin. Gonna make juice, you wouldn't have to do that, but you could grind it all. We're making sauce and we need all the extra liquid out we can get.
Looks like a tedious process.
Kind of slow. But we've got a sauce maker that it will do it, but it leaves a lot of that liquid in there, and you got to cook it for a long time to get all that liquid basically boiled out of it, evaporated.
So what are you putting it in?
We'll put it in the blender and grind it. We're going to pulverize it all together, so I'm getting the core and everything out I can, the skin off. Before we cook it, we'll strain it and get all the seeds out. Because the seeds won't grind up in a blender.
Yeah.
Everything else will, the seeds will eventually float to the bottom and you get a lot of the seeds out. Might not get 100%, but the strainer usually catches most of it. Some of them sneaky, you know, some of them get by somehow. That tomato was kind of dry. Different kind of tomato. Some of the skin don't come off as well. They just didn't blanch as fast. This one seems to be tough. If anybody's ever peeled a raw tomato, blanching it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
My grandmother peeled every raw tomato before she ate it, before she put it on the table for the rest of us. It was just her thing. You had to have a peeled ripe tomato.
Yeah, I remember peeling them for her when she got to where she couldn't.
In her 90s, she would sit in there with a little tiny paring knife and she could peel a raw, regular ripe tomato faster than I could one of these blanched. This is the process we're going to go through. We're going to do this whole sink full. Blend them, put them into a pot, and when we get a pot full, we'll strain it off and get it ready to put on the stove.
Finishing up this round. That's one sink full.
Now we was talking while we're planting our tomatoes. Talking about all this juice I was putting in here. I know there's a method of doing it in the oven where you make sauce. But the temperature being, last week it was in the upper 90s, mid to upper 90s, sometimes close to 100. We don't want to turn our gas cook stove on, especially the oven. Canyon's bad enough. If we had an outside stove set up, we might go with that. We also don't want the juice because we have over 100 quart jars right now of juice put up. Not counting the sauce and the salsa and the spaghetti sauce and the ketchup. So we're trying to eliminate some of the juice. It's a messy thing. We make a big mess, but it'll be good in the end.
And then we blend it in the blender.
That's a 20 quart, a 16 quart pot, and we've got that much already out of the first thing. And we've got 2 more sinkfuls go.
Whew, we got work to do.
We'll have close, somewhere around 15, 16 quarts of it probably. On further and do more, I guess.
Back to work.
Back to work. Well, we've got the sauce on the stove. Our pot was getting kind of full, so we unloaded some of the sauce into a smaller pot. This is going to be for ketchup. There's about 17 cups in it. The big pot, after we strained it, there's roughly 31 cups in it. We're probably going to make sauce out of this one. They'll reduce probably to half or a little better. So 13, 14 cups all we'll get out of this one. This one 6, maybe 7. I figure about 3 pints of ketchup. I don't know, 6, 7 of the salsa. That'll be alright. That's more than what we had. We got rid of all the tomatoes, though. That's the best part. The bar's cleared off again. We're ready to start stocking them up for the next week. I think you said this was week 7? Mm-hmm. We've done this for 7 weeks. Cook tomatoes down every Friday or Saturday or both sometimes. We back it all we want. But the Lord keeps blessing us, so we're going to keep using it. I'll turn it on and show you the updates as we go. To help speed up the video, I'm just going to give you a list of the things I put in the ketchup. About 3 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, about 2 cups of sugar. I took 3 tablespoons of celery seed and a teaspoon of mustard seed, put it in 3 cups of vinegar and heated on the back of the stove. Let it cook real slow, not really boiling, just kept it hot for about 30 minutes. I drained it off and strained it. I took the vinegar and put it in the blender and blended 3 cups of onions and about 4 of my little cloves of garlic with it. I poured it into the mixture. Well, it's been a while, but I think we're finally ready to put some ketchup into some pint jars. It's still very much hot, but it's good and thick. Salsa's cooked down pretty good. I'm just going to tell you what we're going to add instead of showing all of it. I added about 4 cups of bell pepper, 4 cups of chopped up onion, 4 cups of tomatoes chopped up, 1 big jalapeno, 2 tablespoons of salt, about 3 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of cilantro, about 1/4 cup of vinegar, and I also added about 8 cloves of our homegrown garlic. It's kind of a real mild garlic. Here I'll be ready to can here shortly. I'm going to get to work on putting the ketchup in the jars. I'll turn the camera back on when I got them ready to go in the water bath. While it's steaming, you might get over where they can see it. It's not steaming right now since I put everything in it. They're not steaming that bad. Well, let that cook for a few minutes, kind of thicken up, and it's going in a 2-pint jars too. Looks like my hot bath is about ready. I'm gonna have to put my ketchup in it.
Looking good.
We're putting the hot bath in about 15 minutes just to make sure.
Okay.
We'll turn it back on. We got results, I guess. Well, I'm about ready to can it. I'm gonna give that a few minutes to some spices to cook in, and we're gonna start putting it in pint jars. My ketchup, it's in the canner. I don't have it locked. I'm just water bathing it, but it's almost ready to boil. So by the time I get these canned, these will be done. I can just swap them out, hopefully, and get all this done at one time. What I was hoping for anyway. Well, my job is finally done. There's my 4 ketchups, if I can hold this. Good and dark looking. Still very hot. Got 9 salsas, all pints. It's not bad for a week's worth of tomatoes. I still got a couple in the refrigerator to eat, and I still got some over here on the. We've got a table in the window where they set them and let them turn. I pick them early because we've got worms and bugs. It's really working us over. I thought I'd show you the end result. I water bath them all at 15 minutes. Still see a little water on top of some of them. They won't shake them too much. It's been a long, hot day. I'm ready to call it quits. Hope y'all enjoyed this little video. Comment, like. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Have a good day.